It never leaves you.
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 Gareth, your first win.
Yeah.
And a fairy tale ending, really. Bradley Dack comes off the bench to score the winner. A clean sheet for Tate. Lots of good news stories today.
Listen, I am so pleased for the Gillingham fans. And I'm so proud of the Gillingham players and staff I've got, because they've all deserved that. They've all been waiting. You could feel it. You could feel it around the place, you know, that we've been waiting for, okay, new manager comes in and there's a change of ethic and there's a change of identity a little bit. But without that win, it's futile, you know, and you go on draws. And just talking to the guys here, look, we could have broke the draw record, you know. That was incredible, the amount of draws we've had. But for us to nick a last-minute winner, you know, and it wasn't pretty, and it's not always going to be pretty, but what a result. And everyone at the end there, I celebrated with them with all my heart, because they were brilliant. The fans were patient. You know, they could easily have started getting a little bit disheartened because there's some passes gone astray. There was some things we tried. You probably didn't see, but I tried 2 different formations out there. You know, I thought we needed to get another man up top, and then I changed my mind second off. I thought, no, I've let MK Dons in here a little bit, so we changed back to the original formation. I had to make some brave decisions with the substitutes as well, you know, and I'm so pleased for every person who is part of Gillingham, fans, staff, players, because they deserve that. It's brilliant when we win, and to win it in that manner. And Bradley, you know, getting the goal. He's been through a tough time, you know, been through a hell of a time. And he's a man of quality. He's a man who's popped up with the winner today, and he said to me coming off the pitch, he said, "Thank you, Gaffer." And I think that's reciprocated, Bradley, because that goal was a big goal for me. 4 wins and a draw. 4 draws and a win is a decent start. I'm happy with not a pre-season under my belt, you know, not a transfer window under my belt. So there's more to come. Wasn't brilliant, but we've won a game, and that's awesome at the end there.
Tate Holton in goal today. That's his first league appearance for any club, and he keeps a clean sheet. You must be so pleased for him as well, because I don't suppose he knew until fairly late, early this morning?
Yeah, early this morning, you know, we kept it very quiet, but Glenn just felt his hamstring in training yesterday, and that's the worst day for your goalkeeper, to feel his hamstring, you know, and so when he did, we said, look, there's no risk here, you know, you've done fantastically well, and if I'm honest, Tate probably wasn't on the books to have a look at, but I've looked at him now, and you know, I thought he was assured. His kicking was great, and he's got a Cheshire Cat smile on him down there. He's really beaming, and to come in, last minute winner, clean sheet. Yeah, I think that's brilliant. I think the back 4, 5, and then 4 again at times really looked after him as well with their defending. You know, they defended solidly. They didn't let many shots go in at all. You know, I was a bit worried with the free kick. Went into the wall stayed strong. They've really helped him, but also he deserves that, and he deserves that clean sheet. And I said to him, you know, keep your shirt, because it's your debut shirt, and you're not going to forget that. I might have to pay for that, I don't know, but I don't know what the protocol is here, but I'll, if I have to, I have to, but I want him to keep his shirt, because that's a big moment for such a young man, and he'll sleep well tonight, I'm sure.
We'll have a whip round for him, put it into the pot. Gaffer, thank you. Matt Gerard, Radio Kent, please.
Yeah, I suppose music to your ears, a last-minute winner as a manager, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, if you want to win a game, that's the way to do it. You know, rather than first minute and you hold on and you don't play well, and the fans go, well, we won 1-0, but you know, we weren't great. Today, it's like we won 1-0 last minute. It's the local hero, you know, Bradley Dack's going. I mean, everything has gone right. The young boy coming in and making his day. I think we had 4. Is that right? 4 academy graduates on the pitch at the end there. So that's fantastic stuff for Gillingham, you know. And really pleased. What a great way to win a game, you know. A sunny day. Rainham was absolutely, you know, belting. They were just singing and shouting, and I think when the 5 minutes went up, it just gave everyone that little bit of hope, and we needed all 5 of them, but we finally got there.
I'd say it was a quality goal, because Conor Masterson peeled up beautifully at the back post. He could have gone and goal for himself, but it's Bradley Dack's cleaning the movement, and it's a good finish. You know, it's a yard out, but he's still going to put the ball in the back of the net. Yeah,
I mean, I have to hold mine up here. I said I wouldn't mind Bradley taking this. So sometimes as a manager you get that wrong. A great ball in from Clarkey. And like you say, Connor peeled off to that back stick, and he put it back in an area very similar to what Elliot Nevitt did in a game I can't remember the game recently, but he headed one, Chesterfield it was, headed one back across, and we just needed someone to tap it into the back stick. Brad was there, you know, he knows where that goal is, and that's a really important position. I scored a lot of goals in that position, that back stick, the amount of tappings you get there. And that's somebody who's played the game, knows the game. But Brad will say every single player deserved that win today because the efforts, again, gave everything. That's one of my non-negotiables. You have to give everything, and if you can't give everything on that pitch, you're coming off that pitch. I need everything. I need everything because the systems I play, the way we press sometimes, you need energy. You need to be up for this, and the boys were, and they adapted really well to the changes. Felt for a few boys I couldn't get on, but it's football, and you know, really pleased we got the 3 points, and I think, well, I know that's us mathematically safe now, which is.
Was that a worry for you?
Maybe when I first came in, you know, people probably raised their eyebrows and said he's leaving League One and coming to a relegation battle in League Two. You know, we're never in the actual battle, but it's nice to be safe now, and I'm hoping to give, you know, a few more players an opportunity to show what I've got, because I need a window, I need a pre-season, I need to put my identity in place, and it becomes our identity for everyone to go and play that way. You know, there's certain things today we saw of that, and then there's certain things we didn't, you know, and it's a work in progress. And I think the fans are very intelligent. They know their football because they're patient and they're waiting like me for the right moments. But it was really good to get a win, and hopefully everyone's have a celebration in Kent tonight.
And I suppose it's building momentum as well. You know, I think it's 8 games
huge,
now, and then for the start of next season, people are excited to come back, and maybe you can attract more players as well.
Yeah, huge, you know, and like I say, really getting to know the place, getting to know all the staff, and getting to know the area and the culture of Gillingham, because that's important. Clubs are in these places, and you can't go and change them. You've got to make that what they are better and bigger, and add a few things yourself. But I want Gillingham to be the Gillingham of old, and it's been too long, you know. And I want to make sure that the fans come here, they know it's tough for us to get beat at home. I don't think MK Dons had a shot on target today, you know, so that's fantastic from us, you know, defensively. But we've been good defensively. It's scoring at the other end now. We've got to work on it. I aim to, you know, make that better come the end of this season and the start of next season.
How did you break the news to Tate that he could be playing? Did he know that he felt a bit of a twinge in his hamstring, Glenn? Or?
I think Darren, my goalkeeper coach, would have broke the news before me. He's well in with those keepers. I think as soon as Glenn was, Tate knew yesterday that Glenn was struggling. I think that keepers union's tight. Yeah, you don't get in that, you know. They'll have told each other before I told anyone. So Tate didn't look too surprised, but
I suppose you've got to mentally focus.
Yeah, he's calm and assured on the pitch. You know, he's a big lad and he's great. You know, he's real quiet, gets on with his job. But yeah, 1 win, 1 clean sheet, 1 appearance. He's got a decent record at the moment. So not really pleased for Tate, and I'm sure he'll take some of the plaudits tonight. You've
got 6 games now before your next game. Does that give you more time on the training ground, or have you got to, with games coming sort of thick and fast over the years to pick? Do you have to work and manage their workload?
Yeah, we've got to manage them. You know, they're giving everything, the boys. You know, and I think Joe Bodie picked up a knock in the second half, and he couldn't press. You know, he was struggling with his ankle, so making that was a big decision to change. But he said, "Yeah, Gaff, I was struggling there." So and so there'll be 1 or 2. I think Ewan took a real big whack as a dead leg first half, and there was 1 or 2 knocks and bruises. But the way I play, you're going to get that. You're going to put your head in where it hurts. You're going to put your tackles in. I thought the 2 midfielders really did that today, broke things up well, and we had we've changed formations a few times. I want to see what these boys can do and what they're all about, you know. And I changed twice today. You know, I started with 1. I really liked it, but we didn't seem to be, you know, too attacking and too threatening. So I changed, and sometimes going 2 up front, it let MK Dons come at us a little bit more. And I thought you saw second half they started getting a lot of the ball and coming at us. So I did discussion with Dobbo, and we said, look, we'll change back to the original 1, and thankfully it worked in the end. But the boys have had a lot to take on mentally and physically, and so they'll be rested up. And to answer the original question, 6 days, it's going to go quick. What was that? Less than 3 weeks of the season left, or 3 weeks today, you know, and that's crazy when you think what a season it's been. So they'll need rest, because they're going to have a tough pre-season, because they're going to be fit for me to play next year.
Finally, how do you celebrate your first winners? What were you doing tonight?
I got an hour and a half on the motorway first, but that was the reason.
Well, that go quicker though.
One of the big reasons I came here was to be at home. So being back with the family, the kids will have watched it. You know, they'll be absolutely buzzing. You never know. There may be the odd Jack Daniels tonight, but I have to keep my wits about me. I've got a squad to try and you know, sort and I've got to do the best for the boys. You know, I've got to stay focused. So getting on a bit now. So maybe just the wild thing turns into the mild thing a little bit. Yeah.
Thank you.
Gareth, what between minute 0 and 90, before we get to 95, what was your thoughts on the actual performance? Was there lots of good things for you still?
Lots of good things. I thought we pressed the ball really well from behind. So I asked them to press and not let anyone have any time on the ball. I thought we did that really well. What I thought we could have done better was keep the ball better. A few control passes, we call them, which would have been better for us. And then sometimes setting the trap and keeping them on one side would have been. It's things that we worked on, but it was a tough game, you know, because they've played 3 different systems this season, and I'm trying to rotate players to have a look at them all, you know, and it's like, and we're changing the system, and we're changing the intensity of training, and you know the whole identity is changing of the club. So fair play to the boys, you know, they really stood up well, and they deserve all the credits. They deserve all the credit today, the boys. They've given everything. And by the way, there was a group this morning who came in and tried to iron in the squad, because this squad is huge. But they came in and they trained like Trojans, you know, so they set the standard of the day. They come in and train really well this morning. I get the messages back going, that group really trained well. That seeps into the dressing room. The dressing room go, we need to be on it today, because we've got a group here training really well, want our places, you know. It's brilliant when it's like that, you know, rather than a club there's a bit of, you know, mismatch and clicks and things like that. There's not that. Well, I want this club running the proper way, and my way, the one I want to do. So yeah, but the 90 minutes thought we could have been better on the ball. We had a couple of chances, not enough, and we'll work on that. We've not even had a chance to sit down and go through set pieces and how we want them to work, but there's some clever little bits there, so quite impressed. But the way they protected their goal, really good today.
It's obviously a learning process between now and the end of the season, in many respects, mainly for you in that regard as well. Do you learn more when you win games rather than just going draw?
No.
Can you actually learn more?
You learn from every game, honestly, and you do learn more when you lose. When you get beat, there's loads of mistakes to what we've done today is we've probably made a couple, got away with it because they've defended so well, so we can work on that. This is a great day because we can get the video out and go, right, this could have been better, this could have been better. But we won the game, and you still found a way to win, and good teams do that.
Yeah, you mentioned Bradley earlier, and said it's been tough for him. What was your perception from the outside as a football man looking at Bradley Dack and his career almost? But and has that changed since you've actually been in the building?
Yeah, Bradley's an experienced player. I knew he'd be football savvy. He's played at a high level, and you know, to do that you have to know the game. And when you say know the game, it's the little positions you take up. I've had young players in midfield saying to me, how do I know where the second ball's going to be? And you can't tell them. It's experience, it's playing. You see sometimes when the ball's coming up, he's giving little nudges to people just to make space for himself, and he knows his next pass. All these things are quality from Brad, and you know, to see him not playing for so long because of injuries, and it's frustrating. I've been there, I really have. You know, I was lucky enough to play at a high level, but injuries really hurt my career when I was at the high level, so I know what he's been through. I can probably empathise a lot with Bradley, but you know, when he has a moment like that, I think it's his first goal for a couple of years, you know. Took it really well. I think I could have finished that one from a yard, but right place, right time, Brad, well done.
Some people might have skied it. No, but also, I mean, the fact that the crowd in the second half, did you notice that at the start of the second half, kicking towards the rain end, the noise did go up, didn't it? I mean, it also went up when the goal went in.
He's going to go. He's going to be great kicking towards that end, you know. And listen, I have said, I don't want to get carried away with this. We are on a journey. We're at the start of the journey. There's going to be some frustrating moments. I know that. I can tell you now there's going to be some frustrating moments. Today, a 0-0 would have been, it's not going to go brilliantly well. Everyone's cheering and happy at the end. But you know, it's one moment we've taken. The defensive stuff is great and are really solid. I want to make sure we're more threatening sometimes, and some of the closing's good, and some of the traps we set. And all this we'll work on. But there may be some speed bumps, so I'm just hoping that the fans don't go, wow, this is going to go great, isn't it? Because no, you've got to have some learning in there as well. I'm not saying I want to lose a game, but it probably will happen, you know. So we've got to stay together as a group of fans, as a group of players. I had a couple of texts this morning from Brad and Shannon, which is fantastic. You know, like they want to be here. They want to be here. They want to be part of this, and they're saying, "How's the team looking?" And I think it's brilliant to have that support, you know. And I'm sure they'll be happy when I call them later. But no, really, really pleased. I think the club's in a good place, even though the table doesn't suggest that, you know, in League Two. I intend to raise that and make this club better than when I took over.
And being safe mathematically now, does that mean you can do even more experimentation in the last few weeks of the season?
Listen, we've done plenty already, but yeah, I think there's a couple more players that are quite frustrated that need to get in there and show me what they can do. It's tough because there's only 4 games to go now, and so, you know, it's I don't want to burst a bubble and go in with 4 defeats just for the sake of looking at people, you know, because that again takes momentum out of it, which we've just spoke about. So it's that balancing act, you know, and hopefully I'll get it right. But I just say thank you for the fans today. They got right behind me, and it's a pretty special place when they do that, because you feel it on the pitch. The players must have loved it today, especially when that goal went in, and yeah, 1-0 victory.
Looked like you loved it at the end as well.
Yeah, always. You know, I'm going to join in with those fans. I'm a football fan. I remember going down to Blackburn Rovers as a kid, walking down the road, and everything in the world was that Saturday, you know, and how much it means. And you've got grandfathers, dads, sons, and probably great grandchildren coming to the game. You know, it binds generations, and that for me is what football's about. That fan and player connection, which I'm going to try and get back. I certainly loved it today, and I'm hoping the Gills fans did too.
It never leaves you.
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 It never leaves you.